doing well. So as usual, let's start with the questions. If you guys any questions, please raise your hands. Otherwise, I'll start the today topics. Any questions or concerns in previous sessions? If all good, I'll start the session. Let's see any hand rise. Cool. Okay, so let me share my screen once again. Okay, so today, as we discussed, today we are going to start with the SQL basic things. So till yesterday, we just talk about what is Power BI, how it is, and what are the components we have, and how desktop looks, and Power Query editor also. We just gone through the overview. So we'll discuss later in depth, okay, and coming sessions. So today we are going to start a SQL basic stuff, which is going to be help you guys, like, it will add an value for your resumes. So you should know basic knowledge of SQL. With without SQL, it's like, you'll get a calls, but not much, but it's good to add a SQL as well into your resumes. So that's the reason we planned for basic SQL, which is required for Power BI developer. Okay. So please be concentrate. If you have any questions or concerns, raise your hands. Okay. I'll allocate some time to discuss on those questions. Okay, cool. Well, let's start with the SQL stuff. So first we should understand why we have SQL. What is that? Okay. So why we are using, why we should know the SQL. Okay. SQL means it's a structured query language. It is a language which is going to be help us to communicate with the system. Okay. Like other languages. In organization, usually it has a multiple, like, ERP systems. That ERP data has to stored into somewhere else, right? So there will be a backend databases, which is going to be entire data is going to be sit into the databases. So these databases, like, we call it RDBMS. RDBMS stands Relational Database Management System. So by seeing the name itself, we can understand it is not going to be one table in organization. Correct. There will be a multiple tables, n number of tables are there in each system. Okay. So it should communicate each other. The table should communicate. Okay. So for that, we have a relational database management system, which is going to be which is going to be stored data in a tabular form, which is going to be contain rows and columns. Okay. And those tables which are required, it should have a relationship. To give a relationship between the tables, it's required certain things, right? So those are called keys. Okay. This is how the symbol will look, RDBMS. If we go next, so what is table? We discuss about the table, right? We talk about the table. The data is stored in a table form. So table looks like our Excel sheet, like you can see here. These are all columns, the horizontal ID, name, age, codes. These are all columns. Under that, we have a records. Okay. Under the column. So ID column, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, name, under name, we have, it's like an Excel sheet kind of, okay, rows and column format. So I don't want to spend much time here because these are all things are basic. Okay. So now, as we discussed, it's required some keys, some other fields required to have a relationship between the tables. Otherwise, it's not possible to communicate each other, right? So what is meant by key? Key is going to be help us to give a relationship between tables. Okay. So it has a many types, like a super key, candidate key, primary key, alternate key, composite key, foreign key, prime, and non-prime attributes. So there are many keys, but yeah, mostly in interviews, they will ask primary key and foreign key. What is meant by primary key and foreign key? This is must and should question in interviews. So what is mean by primary key? So primary key means which is going to be like, unique values without nulls. That is called primary key. So foreign key means which is foreign key is referenced by some other primary key. Okay, for example, let's go with the step by step. So super key, it's not required to discuss much on it. So let's go with the candidate key. Also, it's a combination of that. Anyways, I'm going to provide this PPT, so you can go through with the, just understand the theoretical part. Okay, but yeah, primary key, foreign key is very important. Even same concept we are discussing in Power BI as well, to give a relationship between the tables. Okay, primary key is a candidate key that is most appropriate to become main key of the table. Okay, primary key is a set of one or more fields. So we can add a multiple fields and then we can create a primary key on top of it. So these are all things as a BI developers, we are not going to create a primary keys and foreign keys, but we should understand in a table, which column is a primary key. So how we can identify that? So we can identify by seeing the data, which is the column, which is not contain duplicates and which is not contain the null values. That is called primary key. So it's always, it should have a unique values. Okay, so we should understand while loading, to give a relationships in Power BI also. We have a match, append things, right, in Power BI. So to give a relationship between, to utilize a match concept, we should know primary keys and the foreign keys in our table. So that's the reason I'm explaining only the primary key and foreign key stuff here. Same concepts we are using there as well. Okay. So you can see here, ID column is a primary key, 1, 2, 3, 4, all are unique. Okay, even role also, it has a all are unique. Names, it may have a duplicates, right? So it's not like always should have a unique names. There will be two persons who have a same name, correct? Is also. Even course, it has a duplicates. Email IDs, yes. Email ID, again, it is going to be unique. Okay. So that's how we have to understand. So primary key means simple, which is contain unique values without nulls. That is called primary key. That's it. Keep it in mind. This is very important. Okay. Alternate key. These are all not required. Composite key also. Composite key, nothing always we are not going to get the unique keys from the, a primary keys from the databases. Sometimes it may require to add a multiple columns, merge multiple columns into one column to make a unique key, like a primary key, to make a primary key. I shouldn't use unique key because there was one more unique key concept. So primary key. For example, if you see in this database, SKU have a BD001L and BD001L, it has a duplicates. And brand name also have a duplicates. Category, it has a core and main. Sales ID is a unique here, right? So this is going to be a primary key. To make this into a primary key, SKU and category we can use to make a primary key, correct? So if we merge these two columns, it is going to be a unique. Okay, that's how we have to, we should understand data first. Okay, then only we can identify which is going to be a unique key. If we match these two columns, okay, this is going to be give a unique values for me. So okay, let's go with this. Create this composite key. Okay, that's how we have to understand the data. Once we started working on the data, we'll understand the data, and then yes, it is going to be very easy. Okay, don't worry. As I'm saying, it is very important. We should understand this, that. It's not like that. Just keep your concentration here, and then you can understand easily. Okay, foreign key. So foreign key is a field in a database table that is primary key in another table. Okay, see here you can see teacher's ID. So here we have a teacher's ID, name, age, and department code and name content. So here it is a teacher's table. This is a department table. To understand this bit on more, let's move into the, so department code is a unique here in the department table, primary key. Unique means primary key, which is going to be have a unique values and without nulls. Okay, department code is a primary key in department table. And there is a teachers table, which is going to be a duplicates in department. For example, one teacher is working for, you can see here, not only one teacher. See here, you have T001. D001 is a department. And there was a one more teacher who is going to work for department 1. Okay, so department code is a duplicates here. So this is foreign key here. Whatever values we have in department code in department table, that is the foreign key is referring this one. This foreign key is referring data from department table. If I entered here D004, it will throw the error. It has a foreign key and primary key relationship. Okay. So whatever values are available in department table, those department, like the teachers should be allocated for those departments only. Okay, that's what. Just theoretically keep it in mind. Foreign key means which is referring into the primary key, and it's content whatever values are there in primary key, those values should be here. This is just theoretical part I'm telling here. We'll go with the DDL commands, DML commands, then you can understand more on it. Okay. Primer, non-primer is not required. And yeah, now coming to the relationship. This relationship concept, we are going to, 1 minute, let me ask if you guys have any questions. Please raise your hands if you have any questions on the keys concept. Yes. Hello? Now you're allowed to talk.
Hello, good evening in America and good morning in India.
Yes.
My name is Ola.
Good evening. Yes, tell me.
I joined this course I think yesterday. I think today is the day 2 or day 3. I can
It's a day 3.
Day 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So now my question is, I noticed that this course is like Microsoft BP or ZBP or whatever, Microsoft Power B1.
Power BI, yes.
Yeah, please can you just explain to me, because I could see you guys are doing much of reports and Excel and stuff like that, which is to me is interesting. I want to be part of it, but right now I'm doing Azure DevOps, guys, and I'm doing I did the AZ900 and I'm doing AZ104. Now, I don't mind expanding my knowledge in this, but now to me, I just want to know, are you guys doing like more of reports in this course? Is this Microsoft Power BP, BI batch, or what are you guys really doing? Because now I can see
this is Power BI batch only. Okay.
Yep.
So it's required some basic SQL knowledge. Okay.
Some basic
work? Yes.
It requires some basic work.
Basic knowledge on SQL.
On sequence.
SQL. It's a structured query language.
Oh, SQL.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
SQL.
SQL, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yes. So it's required basic knowledge because we have to retrieve data from databases. Correct. It's not like always Excel files or somewhere from SharePoint or some other things.
Is it like the Oracle 10G?
Yes, it's similar to
Oracle 10G and SQL, right? Like database administrators, right?
Yeah, it's not administrator side. It just based like to retrieve data from the tables. Till in that level, we are going to discuss here. Because if you add only Power BI in your resume, it is not going to be helpful. It's good to have a SQL as well into your resume.
So meaning that is this class meant for me, or I have to start from SQL?
Sorry?
Can I do this class now? And
yes, you can see.
First, I have to do this, and I don't have to do the one before this one.
It's good to have this knowledge as well. I'll suggest you to join, be here. Okay. So this classes will be for 10 days. I'll try to close it in 10 days SQL basic thing. And later on, we are going to start with the Power BI, Microsoft Power BI.
Microsoft what?
Microsoft Power BI.
Okay, Power BI.
It's yes. reporting
which
tool.
one? Which one is this one?
This is also Microsoft BI only. Okay, this is part of that.
Okay.
This is part of that. First 10 days, we
So,
are covering basic SQL, and then we are going to start the Power BI.
oh,
Power BI
so
means it's a reporting tool.
so like me now, I don't have the basic knowledge of the SQL. So now you're trying to brush a little of SQL. So by the time you get down to the Power BI, I won't get lost, right?
Sorry, can you please repeat the question?
Yeah, I said, so now you making like a refresher for the Power BI, for the
Do you
SQL.
have a knowledge on SQL? Do you have knowledge on SQL already?
No, I'll
Then
say I'll say a little bit and no, because it's been a
okay.
while.
Then continue with this 10 days class, like the SQL stuff which we are discussing, and later on we'll start with the Power BI. So it is very important. The SQL is very important for Power BI.
Okay.
It's good to continue with this. Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you.
If you guys already aware about the SQL, yes, I you can just brush up your things and then yes. Okay.
Because now the way you're explaining it, and to me it's like too fast. It's like you're like running.
Okay. No, this just theory part.
You can take a little bit slow, please.
Yeah, sure, definitely. No, this is just theory part. No, that's why I'm not keeping concentration much here. So once we entered into the practical stuff, then yes, I'll be I'll manage the speed. Okay.
Yeah,
Don't worry
like,
about it. It's just
yeah,
theory part.
well, like me now, like me now, I don't have no knowledge of this. Let's say I have zero knowledge. So by the way you're doing it now, you're like skipping this, running to this, running to that. For me to grab, I can grab in a glance, because
Understood.
you lecture like I know it already, which I don't. It's like you're trying to wake me up on these, but it's not, you're not really as in taking a little bit of time on it for me to grab what you're saying and move on to the next, move on to the next, move on. By the time you share like 3 slides, I'm lost.
Noted. Sure. I'll be I'll control my speed. And why I'm moving fast here is it's just theoretical part. Even though if you type in Google what is meant by primary key, you will get it easily. Correct. So I want to spend much time on the Power BI side. Okay. So SQL, if I take a SQL batch, it is going to be 45 days again. If you want to discuss each and every point in SQL, it is going to be again 45 days. Even within 45 days also, it's not possible because it's a structured query language which needs to be spent some time from our end as well. Correct. So you guys require just basic knowledge. Okay, it's not required much. That's the reason I'm just a bit hurry. Anyways, these PPTs are going to be shared with you guys. You can go through you can understand by reading this. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Thanks for your feedback. I'll control my speed. Thank you. Okay, cool. Yeah. And yeah, relationship. So these relationships, again, same concept will come in Power BI as well. It's like a relationship between the tables, whether it is one to many to many, or many to one, or one to many, how it is the relationship. So this concept in depth we are going to discuss in Power BI. It's the same concept we are using in SQL as well. Why I'm skipping here? So we don't want this knowledge because we are just extracting data from from SQL. That's it. Correct. So I'm just moving into the next concept. Right. Okay. These two relationship. This already setting up relationships. It's not required one to many. See, here we have a one-to-one relationship. So one-to-one relationship means the student table. Here you can see example. Correct. So here we have a student table on contact information. So by seeing this, we can understand one-to-one relation. Why we called it one-to-one relationship. So one student will have only one contact info. Okay. In that case, here also one record, one student ID, and here also one student ID. In that scenarios, it is going to be one-to-one relationship. Okay. And next one is one-to-many. Here you can see the table. So one-to-many means by seeing the name itself, we can understand one record in the first table, and related to that record, it has a many line items in other report and other table. So that's how it is. So here you can see customer table and order. For example, we have an Amazon account. We have only one Amazon account, correct? So that customer, like we are a customers for the Amazon. So I'm the customer, for example. So I placed the order. I can place multiple orders, correct? It's not only one order or one. So if I place only one order, that is going to be one-to-one. Okay, I can place multiple orders. So when I place a multiple orders, it will be recorded multiple times. Okay, with my account. So that is one-to-many relationship. Okay, the next one is many-to-many relationship. So many-to-many relationship, like how we can explain, see here we highlighted with the primary key and foreign key and primary key. So that's the reason I said primary key and foreign key are very important. Just keep it in mind. Primary key means always unique without nulls. Foreign key means it has a duplicates, but the values which are available there, those values should be there in a primary key, which is referring. Okay. So here you can see student ID and student ID in enrollment. So for example, you guys are there. Okay. For example, I'm here. So in Logic Lab Technologies, I'm a student of Logic Lab Technology. For example, I enrolled for Azure, I enrolled for Python, I enrolled for Power BI. Okay. And how many times my student ID will be recorded in the there? Multiple times. When come to class wise, so class ID wise, it is going to be for Python, one class ID. For Power BI, it is going to be the separate ID. For Azure, it is going to be a separate ID. So one student, multiple classes, multiple enrollments, and multiple classes. So between these two, it is going to be a many-to-many relationship. Correct. So that is what. So here also we have a multiple line items, and in other table also we have a multiple line items. That's how it is. And yeah, so as we discussed, one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-many relationship. Same concept will come in Power BI also. Don't worry if you are not able to understand here. We'll discuss this again with practically in Power BI. Okay. Next, coming to the data types. So, okay, we are creating a tables. We are entering the data into the SQL databases. So the data, the column should be have some data types. Correct. Yesterday we saw in Power BI. Once we loaded data into the Power BI Excel files, into CSV files into Power BI, system automatically detected the data types and it's applied the steps. Correct. For number thing, for integers, it's allocate number. For text, it's allocate string. So same concept we have in SQL as well. So SQL data, numeric, date, character, Unicode character, binary. So here you can see for numeric, this is for integer. In integer also, we have a integer, decimals, numeric, float, real. So you can see here all the examples, how it has. Okay, even date. For date, again, it's a date, time, date and time, timestamp, year. This is how. I'll show you a few examples while creating a table, how we can allocate the data types for the columns. Okay. But in Power BI, it is so easy. We just click there, select, that's it. But in SQL, we have to write a code for it. Okay. Mostly we are using numeric, date and character. Varchar we are using here. You can see here varchar and the length we have to use. Okay, varchar and number, date, these three we are using mostly. And even one more thing I have to inform here. As a BI developer, we are not going to create always we are not going to create a tables. Sometimes it may require to create a tables. Sometimes, rare cases. Okay, mostly the tables will be existed in the database. We have to retrieve data from the databases. That's it. Okay. So rare cases, it's required. That's the reason I'm explaining here. Okay, the data types, relationships, and primary keys and all. We'll go with the practical, then you can understand. I'll give examples also for that. Then you can understand more on it. Okay, is it clear? Okay, so the next one, yeah. So what is SQL? We discussed it's a structured query language, which is going to be a communicator between us and databases. Okay, see, to talk with to talk with others, we should know some language, right? Either our, if we are a native, if we know the mother tongue, that's fine, well and good, we can communicate. If we are other places, we should know some other languages to communicate, right? So like that only we have a structured query language, which is going to be help us to communicate between database and the system. Okay, so it's a language. So connect to the databases, these are all not required. And let's move into the, yeah. So I have a, yes. So here we have a few commands in SQL. Okay, so we have a DDL commands. Let's note here. I already noted here, but yeah, good to have a note. So DDL commands and DQL commands. Before that, we have a DML commands. Okay, these three are available. Okay, so and the first one is DDL commands. DDL commands means data definition language. What is meant by DDL? It's a data definition language. Okay, data definition language. Here we have a create. So again, under DDL commands, we have a sub commands. One is create, draw, alter, truncate. So by seeing the name itself, it is representing something like a create. So before that, I just want to show you the SQL. For practicing SQL, good to install SQL into your local systems. Okay, same thing. You can go with the Google, search for a Microsoft SQL. 1 minute, let me show you how you can get the EMS SQL. Download, you can search for it. Okay, whatever it is, based on your system configuration, you can download the things. SSMS you can download. Okay, once you download it from the website, just install into your system. Okay, you can maybe refer some links and then you can get it down. So once you download, install it, then you can type for SSMS Windows and SSMS. It will looks like this. Okay, once I open this, it will take some few seconds to open. SQL Server Management Student. Sorry, Studio. Yeah. So I have a local server in my system. So server name, this is what. And the authentication type is Windows authentication, whatever credentials I have in my for logging into my system. So those credentials it will pick and then connect. Okay. So this is how it looks once you install. This name and all you can give, or else by default it will give us some name while installing. Okay. Don't worry about it. Just install, download from the website and install it. That's it. Even it's not required to give a name. If you give a name, that's fine. Otherwise, system will give the name. Okay. By default, these are all folders will be available. And if you expand databases, okay, there will be a system databases and database. So these are all like these two will be there. And these three databases I created. The three databases which is contained database symbol. No, this is a database symbol. So these three are created. These are all user defined. Okay, if you expand the system databases, see by default there are some other databases. Don't delete this part. Okay, don't delete system database. Why? Because whatever things we are doing here, user databases, all the things will record it here. Okay, if you delete this, this is not going to be working. Okay, and let me show you how we can create a database, this database. Let's start with creating a database. So we are using create command here. Under DDL, we have a create, right? This option we are using to create a database. So here I already provided the example. This note will be shared with you guys. Try from your end. So create is a key, and then database, we are going to create a database, right? Database object, database, and the name. So you can give a different name as we have already tested. Okay. So SQL and okay, execute. See, commands completed successfully, and this is not yet appearing, right? Just click here, it will refresh and then see. You can see now. So if I expand this, so by default, all the folders are available. Okay. So tables, this option we are using. Okay. See, already there are a few tables which are system defined things. So don't delete the existing things. Just add, if you like, with the same create command, we can create a tables object, tables, views, stored procedures. There are many things we can create with this create option. Okay. Okay, how we can create a table? Okay, first we should know the syntax. So this is what the syntax. So what is the syntax? So first one is create. So what object we are creating? Table object. Correct. So table object, in which database? We should know the which database we have to create a table. So we have to create a table in SQL Query. Correct. So but here you can see in the top, it is pointing out master. If I execute this, this is going to be applicable on master database, but it shouldn't, correct? So we can choose the right database from here. Select the destination database. So now it is pointing the SQL trend. So this is a syntax. Okay, this is not the code. This is a syntax. Okay, so create table name. So create table name. So here you can provide the table name. So if you are going to create a table for sales or for orders or purchases, for finance thing, for revenue, for budget, so it should be relevant name. It's not like a table 1, table 2, table 3. Always you should maintain meaningful names. By seeing the table name itself, we can get to know, okay, this is what. Okay, but yeah, we are not going to create always the tables in a databases. There will be existing tables we are consuming, just good to have a knowledge on it. Okay, so create table name, and we have to give a column name and data type. For example, we have to create a budget. Okay, budget table we have to create. So budget table, how it looks, so it should have a some for example, each reason we are allocating. So reason wise means we should have a reason, country, state, something like that, the column names, and the data types are going to be, here we are using data type. So if it is text, it is going to be varchar, and size of the column. Size of the column means how much length it is going to, the maximum length we have to give. Okay, let me show you. Let's create a one table, then you can understand easily. So I'm going to create a EMP table, okay, which is going to be cover most of the data types. Okay, so here you can see create table name. So as I mentioned, I'm going to create a EMP table. That's the reason I just give a EMP. Okay, the name should be meaningful. And EMP number always it is integer. So for integer, it's not required to give a length. Okay, but varchar, we should give a length. Okay. For date also, it's not required. Either you can use date time or date, whatever it is, it's not required the length. For only text, for only characters, like a string, we have to use a varchar and size of the. So here we give for job, varchar 9 we give. So if I insert value more than 9 characters into the job, it will throw the error. It will throw the error. So you should understand how much length it is going to be. You should know that. Okay. So now let's create this table. So EMP number, integer, not null. Not null, why we gave, this is a primary key. It shouldn't be, we should not give a blank values for this. That's the reason I gave a not null. Okay. E-name, job, MGR, and hierarchy is, hire date is a date, salary again integer, commission again integer, department number again integer. Okay, mostly these data types we are using. Okay, just execute. So now if you expand this, if we refresh this database, okay, let's refresh. Now I can see this table, EMP table under, yeah, see. Okay, so to check the table, whether the table is existed or not, we can see in that way, or else select statement. So this select statement only we are using as a BI developer while extracting data from Power databases. Select star from EMP. So you can drag like this, or else you can type also. Okay, this I'm selecting. See, we have a column names. We didn't insert any data. Correct. We didn't insert any data. That's the reason it's just showcasing the column names. If we insert, then it will show the data. Okay, this is how we can create the tables. This is how we can create the databases. Okay, even this database also, we can create with a create database name. Okay, and in the same way, I'm creating one more table, which is going to be our DEPT. Why I pick EMP DEPT means this contain less data and it will be easy to understand for you guys. Okay, that's the reason I choose these things. Okay, so now we have a executed. Yeah, we all executed. See, again, I tried to execute this table. It gave the error because the table already existed. Okay. Just expand the tables. Yeah, DEPT, EMP. Both the tables we can see here. Okay. This is how. And the next one. So this is how we can create the tables and database also in database. And second one is drop. Okay, we created the table. Okay, we don't want that table. Okay, we don't want that table. Like unfortunately, we created the table. Okay, so what we can do, we can drop the table. Otherwise, this is going to be utilize some space. Okay, unnecessary tables we can drop. Okay, drop table name. I want to drop a EMP table. Let's drop this. Execute. Command completed successfully. Okay, let's see whether the EMP table is existed or not. See, it's dropped. Correct. If I try now the select statement, select star from, see here itself, the table name itself, it will throw the error. If we have any errors, like in code, it will give a red line. Okay, if we don't have, see, for example, if I use a DEPT, this is not going to be given any error because DEPT table already existed. Maybe okay, let's what this is giving. some message it is giving invalid object name. And we have a DUPT table, no? Something wrong with my system, I think so. Otherwise, it shouldn't. It should not give the error. There is nothing error. Even it is executing also. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. So now we understand the drop. Correct? So we can drop the tables by using a drop. Next one is alter. So we created the PT table. Now we have to alter. Alter means we can change the data type and the size of the columns. Okay, we gave, for example, in this code we gave a 1 minute. Let me copy that code again. Then you can understand easily. So this is what the length I gave. So now I thought, okay, location is not going to be 13 characters. So I have to increase this to 20. So what it's not possible to again drop the table and then create. We can do that, but that's not the good practice. Okay, so we have an alter command for that. Okay, in alter, again, we have 4 things. One is add, modify, rename, drop. So by using an add, we can add the new columns. So already 3 columns are existed: department number, DNAME, and location. 3 columns are existed. Okay, I want to add one more column to this. What I can do? I have to alter. Okay, alter the table. So this is what the syntax I provided in our notepad. So we are going to share this notepads with you guys. Okay, you can check the syntaxes. Be aware about the syntaxes. Then it will be easy to write the codes. Okay. So what is the syntax? Alter command we have to use. What we are going to alter? Table. Okay, we are altering the table. And which table? This is what the table name. So add keyword we have to use here. Add keyword. This one we have to use here. Add HOD. I want to add there will be, for each department there will be HOD, right? So that column I have to add. And joining date, their joining date, I have to add. These 2 columns I have to add into existing DEPT table. Okay, this is how alter table, table name, add column name, and data type. Column, comma. If you want to add multiple columns, then give a comma, column name, and the data type. Okay, if I execute this, see now we have a, let me run the select statement. See, HOD and joining date. These 2 are added. Okay, this is how we can do the alter. The same way we have a modify. As I mentioned, we can modify existing columns, data type as well. Okay, by using a modify. For example, let's have a code alter table name. So for DDL commands, the table, we should mention the object, what type of object it is, and the name of object. Object means table is an object. Okay, table and table name we have to give. And again, here we have to use alter column. System should understand, not with the modify. Modify key is not going to be work. For example, okay, we gave an add there. So here also we have to use a modify. No, this is not going to be work here. Okay. Alter column HOD varchar 20. Okay, before it is 15. Now I am making that into 20. Is it possible? Yes, is possible. Okay, we can modify like this. Execute. Okay, now we have that. Okay, this is how we can modify data type length. Data type and the length also we can modify. Okay. And we can do it. So here we give a date. So instead of date, We can give a date and time also. We can modify the data type as well. For example, let's do this date and time. Okay, if I execute this, that is going to be converted into date and time. Okay, so if it is not possible, if we have any errors, then it will throw the errors here. Okay, it will give a error. So if it says commands completed successfully, then that is implemented. The change which we mentioned, that is updated. Okay. And the next one is rename. Okay. We can rename our column names. For example, I have a HOD. I don't want to give a HOD. Sorry, this is syntax. So syntax, how it is. So in other languages, in Oracle, we have a rename concept. But here we have a one store procedure, which is going to be help us to rename our column names. Okay. SP underscore rename DPT. So this is a table name dot HOD. So from this table, this column, I have to rename into HO department, something like that. So this should be in quotes, single quotes. Okay, let's do this. Yes, it's completed successfully, but it gave us some caution. What it is, changing any part of an object name could break scripts and stored procedures. So if we have some stored procedures on this column, okay, or something, some other things, views or something, so that is going to be break the, like those are not going to be valid. So that caution it is giving. So before renaming, just cross check, do we have any other things on it? Okay. Any stored procedures or views are consuming this table data, this structure. Okay. That's how we can rename. The last one is drop. Okay. I don't want table. Sorry, I don't want a column. We know how to drop the table, correct? Okay. We already discussed about it. Like that only we can drop our columns as well. Okay. With the alter table name, drop column we have to use here. Okay, drop column, because if you use direct drop table name, table is going to be dropped. But here, alter table name, drop column, and the column name we are specifying. Okay, let me check how the table name looks. So it is HODPT. Let me remove this part. Let's execute. See, command completed successfully. So they may ask in interview the question like, DDL commands. If you execute DDL commands, what would be the output? If you execute any DDL commands, what would be the output results you will get? So what it is giving? Commands completed successfully and completion time. Keep it in mind. If you execute any DDL command, if it is valid, the code, then it will give the message like a commands completed successfully and the completion time. Okay, any questions on it? So we are done with the DDL commands. So we have a 6 more minutes. Let's have a questions if you guys have any. I don't see any hand raise here. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. Otherwise, I'll cover DQL as well. Cool. No questions. If you have any concerns also, like Ola mentioned, I'm going a bit fast. Okay, if you have any concerns also, please let us know. Then I'll make alignment on it. Okay. Any questions or concerns? All good? Okay, cool. I didn't see any hand raise here. I hope it is understandable, the things which we are discussing. Okay, let's start with the, so Satish raised the hand. Let's go with the Satish. Yes, Satish, now you are allowed.
Yeah, hi Lakshmi, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, Lakshmi, I want to know one thing. Actually, you said relationship management, right? Like one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-many, right?
Yes.
Yeah, these relationships is required in the real-time project? Or
Power
only
BI side,
you need
yes.
to know theoretically,
Power BI
understanding
side,
purpose only?
no. Power BI side, we should know practically. So that's what I mentioned. Again, we are going to discuss same concept with the practical in Power BI. Why? Because we have a modeling
Hello?
tab view. Yes, I'm audible.
Yeah. Now, fine.
Okay. So in Power BI, we have a one view, right? The modeling view.
Yeah.
3 views are there. One is reporting
Yes,
view, data
correct.
view, modeling view. So in
Yeah.
modeling view, we are using these relationships.
Okay.
Yeah, we called it cardinality.
Okay. And
Okay.
relationships is 4, right? One-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one, many-to-many, right?
Yes.
Okay.
See, one to many to one. Both are same, but the table
Okay.
position is going to be changed. That's it. Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll discuss this later with practically in Power BI. So that will be
Okay.
more visual wise. You can understand easily because it just drag and drop in Power BI. Okay. In modeling tab.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that's
sure.
why if you know the data, then it's very easy to give a relationship between the tables. You should
Okay.
understand data first.
Okay,
Okay.
Lakshmi. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, cool. So we have 4 more minutes. It's good to discuss the DQL because it's a very small thing, just one part we have. So let's discuss about the DQL and later we'll discuss about the DML because it has a few things which is going to be time consumed. So DQL command. So you can see here. So in DQL, we have only one command which is called select. Okay. Now we have all the tables are existed. Okay. Now we have a tables are available and we don't have a data. Okay, to insert data, we have to do DML comments. Okay, that we'll discuss tomorrow. Before, as we have 3 more minutes now, let's discuss about the DQL. DQL means data query language. Okay, DQL means data query language. Okay, so data query language means by seeing the name itself, we can understand query means extracting, taking data from the tables. Okay, from the databases. So we already use this select star from. Okay, for example, I want to understand the DEPT table. What I can write? Select star from table name. What it is, the table name? DEPT table. Just execute this. Okay, DPT number, D name, location, joining. If we have any data, that data also will represent here. Okay. No, I don't want to star. Why we are giving star here? Because star means all columns. N number of, like, for example, 10 columns are available in a table. If you want to load 10 columns, use star. Else, if you want to get only required column, then mention the column names. DPT number, comma, D name, comma, location. That's it. I don't want the joining date. Okay. So if I execute now, it will give only the selected columns. Okay. Just remember, star means all. Okay. If we specify the column names, then it is going to be given whatever we mention in the select clause between select and from. Okay. Between select and from. Okay. This is called from clause. This is from clause. There are other clauses as well. See, where clause. You can see after from clause. Okay. From this table, some where clause. Where clause in the sense, this is going to be help us to filter the data. Where city equals to this, where year equals to 2022. Sometimes we may require to filter data in backend itself. Okay. So I don't want to see, for example, we have a data for a global data we have, but I'm doing reporting for only Europe or Africa or Canada or UK. Okay. Any, for example, for Canada, we are reporting. What I can do, I don't want to load entire data, right? So what I can do, select star from where. Okay. Where clause I can use, put the condition equals to Canada. That's it. Column name equals to Canada. That's how we can use. This is called where clause. We'll discuss this in depth. Okay. And next one is group by. Group by is going to be aggregate the data. It is going to be a group the data. Okay, group the data and then it will give the data. So these are all very important. This order also should be in this way. It's not like, okay, from I'll use group by and then where and then order by. No, it should be in the same order. Select star from where group by having order by. It's not required to use always all the clauses. Based on the requirement you can use, but if you are using where clause and the group by clause, it should be first where from clause and where clause and group by. Okay, it's not like always we are using all the clauses. It depends on requirement. Okay, that's it about the DQL. Okay, any questions? We are in time. Any questions? Still, we can spend 1 more minute to know, like, if you guys have any questions or concerns. If all good, we are good with the session today. Let's connect tomorrow. Okay, I didn't see any hand rise. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thanks for all of you. Thank you. Let's connect tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.